Hey there, I'm Jeff with InspectorPrime. In this tutorial, I'm going to talk through the employee and vendor directory, a crucial part of your business if you're a multi-inspector firm or if you use outside vendors to provide certain services for your business. I'll walk you through how to add new employees, set roles, track key details, and manage internal communication, all from one centralized dashboard. Whether you're managing a small team or growing a larger operation, this feature makes it easy to stay on top of who's doing what and when. So let's get started. So let's get to our employee and vendor management dashboard by going over and clicking on CRM, employee and vendor directory. And here we can see all of the employees and vendors that are tied to our business. We're going to look at three different types, so full-time employee, part-time, as well as a vendor. But let's go ahead and start with Sam Wilson. So we'll click on the record to open up what's available to see with Sam. So starting at the top of the screen here, we can add an image of Sam, depending on what state you're in. If it's a requirement that all reports have a signature on them, you can upload an image of Sam's signature to include on reports that you're delivering, biography, state license number, association number. You then move down to the work profile. So you can have on leave, inactive, and remember again, just a best practice, if you have an employee that leaves, do not delete them. Just go ahead and set them on inactive so that you don't lose that historical data. The type, which again I'll showcase with a few of the other employees in here, full-time, part-time, and vendor. You can tag the employees with their different roles. Reports to himself, but you could add in a boss if that's how your business is structured. Work email, phone number. You add availability that then links to the time slot management that's covered in another tutorial. You can add locations that Sam services, as well as the date that they were hired. Personal profile, pretty straightforward. As we keep scrolling down, again, there's a more detailed tutorial available for the equipment management, but here it will show up all of the different equipment that is assigned to him. You can click into each record too to update the profile, add images, all of that. But again, this tutorial is not to get into any of these specific subcategories. I just want to highlight what it ties to. If you need to, you can add equipment. So let's say Ben Grimm is no longer using something, you can then assign it to Sam or something like that. Scrolling down, the role management. So here is where we assign all of the different roles within the business to our employees. So you can see here that Sam Wilson's qualified to do air quality testing. He's a drone pilot. He's an inspector. He does radon full service, sewer scope, and anything else that you might want to assign to yourself or your employees to help track all of your job management and service management. Continuing down, you can keep track of training records. So here we have pending. Go up to a House of Horrors trip in Boulder to check out what they've got up there. Add additional so we can see what training he has completed. And again, add more if we so desire to right in here. Weekly schedule. So we can look at his schedule for the week. You can add a schedule as well. Same with leave. So pending, let's go in and improve this. Perfect. So he's leaving in December for some leave. Now we can check out our approved. He got some denied maybe. Or you can view all the records. Commissions as well. So these are his upcoming approved commissions tied to different jobs. Let's go ahead and check out what he was paid. Cool. So let's just scroll down here a little bit. Let's click into this record. Now we can see how much he was paid for that commission, the job it was tied to. Again, you can cancel, mark overdue, whatever you need to do when you're in this record. Time slot management, which again is covered in another tutorial, but nonetheless you can get a good overview here of what Sam has allocated for time slots. So let's see what Sam was doing on May 16th. Open it up here. Here's the job. Again, there's the link job. You can see where he was, what services he did. Cool. 11-month warranty inspection. Got paid some commission. And then assigned vehicles and vehicle maintenance records. Pretty self-explanatory here. So we've assigned a vehicle to Sam to use for inspections. Here's what's next for his vehicle maintenance. So he has a brake inspection coming up. You can see what's overdue, what's in progress, what's pending. Mileage log, if you track that with your employees, you can get a snapshot of that here, as well as the expenses that Sam has, whether it's ordering a new moisture meter, filling up on gas, or whatever else he might be expending. So that is the overview of the record. As you can see, a lot of data here, and what this highlights is, again, this employee profile pulls from a bunch of different areas within the platform to give you a quick access to look up information as you need it. Okay, so we looked at Sam. He is a full-time employee. Let's look at Betty. So we have our image, signature, all the same information. She's just denoted as a part-time employee. Then why that matters is it just affects her scheduling. So when we go into the time slot management, or excuse me, the weekly employee schedules, that'll just cue you in to remind you Betty is a part-time employee. Don't book her for the full 40 hours or whatever full-time is for your company. Again, all these same fields. She doesn't have as much because she is not a full-time employee like Sam was. And then our last employee type, we'll look at Ben Grimm, who we have as a mold testing vendor. Again, all the same fields here, but let's go ahead and look at what a job looks like for Ben as compared to Sam. So let's go ahead and go into his assigned role. So he's a mold tester, so we'll open it up. We can get a snapshot of how much money his service has brought into the business, as well as what is coming up. We don't have anything at the moment. What is sitting in a quote status, what's currently scheduled, in progress, as well as completed. So let's just go ahead and click in. So we can select any of those at random and pull up what this service is tied to. So let's go ahead and note that this job is for Jessica Johnson. So we're going to go ahead into our job and service management interface, and we're going to search for Jessica Johnson. Up to the search bar. Jessica Johnson, here we go. Here we are in the job record. We can scroll down to the services and we will find the mold testing that we were looking at and how Ben Grimm is assigned to it. So that's why having your employee roles ironed out and entered into this directory are crucial as you're managing all of your different jobs. So if we wanted to add somebody else, it's just as easy as clicking on the add menu and selecting the service that's applicable to it. And now I'm going to pause this real quick and get back to the employee and vendor directory. Okay, so we're back in the employee and vendor directory. That pretty much wraps up the depth of the topic that we're going to cover in this tutorial. Like I mentioned before, all those subcategories that we saw as we opened up the records here We'll go into a lot more detail on some more advanced tutorials to make sure that we're helping you get your system set up appropriately. But again, this is a pretty crucial hub for information flow for your InspectorPrime database. So putting some thought and time into how you're setting up your employee profiles is going to set you up for success in the future. And as you can see, there are a ton of different ways that you can capture data to accurately track how your business is doing, what your employees are doing, and what your prospects look like in the future. So that'll do it for this video. Thanks for taking time to watch it, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks for being an InspectorPrime customer.